Hi, everyone. This is Heidi from Adventuring Psychics giving you a shout out and a shout out to our psychic advisor, Jane Dowler. And what I want to go over today is altars and why they are important for any of our witches and Wiccans and spellcasters out there. Now, I wanted to let everybody know that, first of all, altars are universal. You'll see them all over the United States, all over the world, representing any kind of spiritual or religious theme or belief. What Wiccans and witches use altars for is to help them harness a spell or charm that they're looking to do. They invite their spirit guides, they invite their gods, the goddesses, as well as their ancestors to come in and give them a hand in executing a spell or a charm. Now, it is not just for spells and charms that we use our altars for. We also use them just to meditate, to take in the day, before we head out to work or even after work, and we're just decompressing and we are looking to analyze maybe what happened during the day, looking for signs that we might have missed of our ancestors or our spirit guides talking to us and giving us guidance of where we should be able to go to our next level of understanding, or even if we had a wish in the morning for the start of the day saying, "Hey, I really would like to have a great day. Let me look for some signs from you to say that, hey, you're around, you're pushing for me, you're pulling for me. And that way I know in the back of my mind I'm going to have a good day. I see this color here, or I see that sign over there, that says something that reminds me of you and it makes me smile." It is something as simple as that that makes your altars work. And a lot of um, personal thought goes into when you're making an altar, and it's all individual and it's all instinctual. There are a few things that when you read about some of the ab's and c's of how to set an altar together, that's also fantastic, because if you're a first time person doing this, you want as much guidance as you can, which is great. But then as you get better at it and as you get more comfortable into, altering the altar, so to speak, you're able to put a little bit more of your essence into it. So, on some of the altars, they say that you should always add a bit of your elementals in there. So, you have your fire, your wind, your earth elements as well. So, absolutely do that. But sometimes, if one element doesn't talk to you, but another one does, put more of that element into it, because it's all instinctual of what is going to work for you. So you don't have to force an element onto you if it doesn't work. And you want to remember that if this is your area of doing spells and charms, if you're forcing something on your altar that doesn't talk to you because somebody said that you should have it on your altar, or this is a need to have, you're not making the altar personal. And if you're doing a spell or a charm, you want to make sure that it works and doesn't backfire on you or not work at all. So that's important to remember, that when you're doing any kind of your charms and your spells and you're doing it at the altar, you want to make sure that the altar has what you want on it and it represents you. Now, you can do any kind of elements that you'd like, but one of the elements that I like on my altar is water, and that's what I actually, you kn for this season, water is the thing for me, and I have, something that is called a crystal grid on my altar, and altars don't normally have a crystal grid on them, but I like it. It represents water, it has a whale on it, so you don't have to have the physical element there. You could have something that represents water. You could have something that represents the earth and the fire element. I don't like to have things lit up in the house because my fear of fire. So I usually use a remote control light for any kind of candles that I have. So that makes me feel safe, it makes me feel comfortable, and I'm able to get on with my spell casting and um, my meditation because I do some meditation at the altars as well. And I wanted to let you know that create a space in your area that you're going to see the altar every day. You want to make sure that it's not too big, it's not too small, it fits in your space. There's no right way or wrong way to set it up. And I usually have a lace covering for my altar. You can use any kind of covering that you want, celestial coverings, elemental coverings, any particular color that talks to you. It is all about you. You can have things on your altar that the links and the tutorials give you, but as you get comfortable with the setup of your altar, you can nip, tuck, and zhuzh it a little bit more to represent you more. And that way you know that you're going to have a comfort in knowing that your charms are going to be cast well. They're not going to be biting you on the butt because you did something on your altar that you really didn't like. Always remember that. It's personal, it's about you. And some of the things that also go on your altar is an athame. And I usually like to have one on mine anyway because my I really like my athame. You don't have to have it, but it's one of the representations of you executing your spell or your charm. So the athame is uh, an extension of you pushing that energy out there to send your charm out, to send your magic out, and to get it where it needs to go for you. So always remember that your altars are about you. They don't have to be too big or too small. They just need to fit into a space that you're going to see every day, that you're going to be comfortable with. And on the next video that I'm going to probably be doing is talking a little bit more about the athame, its history, what it can be made of, what how it was used, and cleaning it, cleansing it, and charging it so that you would be able to use it for your spells and to decorate your altar. So until we speak again, my name is Heidi from Aventurine Psychics. Oh, also, if any of you spellcasters out there have an altar, why don't you talk to us at info@aventuringpsychics.com? Let us know what you have on your altar, what talks to you, what makes your altar individual that represents you specifically. So in the meantime, and have an enjoyable rest of the day, and we'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.